Over to you, Vandana.
Great. Thanks for the introduction, and thanks everyone for being here. So this panel is about the integration of AI and gaming for creating better player experiences. And as far as the AI conversation around AI is concerned, I'm sure all of you have been hearing about generative AI. AI, whenever the word comes AI to your mind, what is the first thing you think of? Anybody? Gentlemen over here. What is the first thing you think of when AI comes to your mind? Is it ChatGPT? Yes, exactly what I wanted to hear. So ChatGPT, Midjourney, all these tools are what we talk about when it comes to AI. And today, this discussion, I want it to be an extension of the generative AI features. AI, right after the introduction of OpenAI and ChatGPT, the conversation has been in air already. And when the integration of gaming comes with AI, brands right now are doing magic. And that's what we'll talk about today with Sagar, Ravish, and Rahul. Great, thanks for joining in. Let's start from the very basics. So for me as a consumer today, how is my life being impacted by AI? I do marketing, I use generative AI, but what about just anybody in the room? From the time we wake up to the time we sleep, how is AI impacting us already? And then we move to the gaming aspect. So Sagar, would you like to take that?
Yes, sure. I think it's my perspective that if we get up in the morning, do I start consuming AI right from the beginning? So we start with brushing my teeth. And even before that, probably we touch your mobile phone and see the time and probably read the news. You can be least assured that the news that gets served, if you are opening your mobile in the morning before you start your day, I think those news are actually being behind. AI engine is studying it and sending it to you. Now, next thing that you'll do is brush your teeth. Today, we know that worldwide, all the design of product is being done by some kind of design experts. And I believe going forward, all product designs are extensively will be done by AI. So if I look at it, what do I do today? The moment I play a game, there is an AI element on that, either in the part of the gameplay or it is part of the content that is created, etc. If I go to Amazon, buy something, the recommendation engine is essentially providing some kind of saying that this is what you can watch later, etc. If I open Netflix, the same thing. So in my view, currently the adoption of AI is limited to what we buy, where we go. If I'm eligible for loan, where I am going, where I am spending it, all these things are studied by probably Zio, other companies which are providing loans. So this is going to get extended to everything that we do, either form of design, consumption will get converted to AI. Thank you.
A lot of personalization is also what is being added with the use of AI when it comes to gaming. And that's not something which was happening before. And that's where the impact has come in. So a lot of brands are also leveraging it. So it's a very interesting thing that Sunsilk did in the metaverse in Roblox. They created a game, target audience 13 to 20 years of age. Their customers could actually get in the Sunsilk metaverse, play a game which enabled them to customize their hairstyles and to color their hair, use Sunsilk products, have their virtual avatars that they take care of, wash their hairs. And that's how the brand engaged around 1 million users in a matter of 28 days on Roblox. Imagine any other aspect engaging that huge a crowd from different territories, and that to young kids. They are the customers of tomorrow for the brands, and gaming is what letting them interact with those customers who are actually also the secondary decision makers when it comes to FMCG products. So brands are definitely, looking towards the gaming side, and how many of you here are actually tired of getting targeted ads, YouTube ads, Instagram ads? I'm sure as customers, we have all been through that and we are all pissed off and we are all like, we will actually stop using this brand if they interrupt any more Spotify songs for me, right? So an alternate medium for engaging your customers and interacting with them without, actually looking like a marketing gimmick, gaming is the way to go. So Rahul, if you can shed some light more on how brands are doing it effectively and how AI is adding a personal touch to these experiences.
Absolutely. So, sure. So, I think as a marketeer or any functional person, what's the first goal? Everyone wants to sell more. Whoever is sitting here is for what? Network, collab, and then sell. This event also is the same thing. End of the day. Huh? So every brand here also wants to sell. The avenues of selling have increased. And when these avenues of selling increases, the role of AI is more towards creating an environment of effective and faster decision making. Think of this hotel. How many hotels do you think existed with the kind of event company you are? You must have had maybe 5 or 10 options 15 years back. So your decision making was very fast. Okay? Because you have less inventory. Now you have got what? 150? The whole of AeroCity, and of course with JAVER also coming along, they are putting together their own AeroCity, which means you will have, say, 300, 400, 500 sort of options. AI, hence, will be an effective way to enhance decision making, for faster decision making, I mean. The third part is, who are you selling? Now, the ones who are brands who have been selling it on regular media, which is TV commercials, TVCs, and whatnot, they will continue to go and serve a certain type of sort of a community any which way, whether vernacular, whether standard Hindi, English kind of content. But having that new generation, the new person who is coming, the new meaning the young, people who will then in the next 20 years also will become 40 plus. I'm just looking at Vandana because she keeps telling me.
Point taken.
So, the journey of acquisition for a brand, as far as I am concerned, is 20 years old strategy. The journey of the brand, which will coexist with the humankind over the next 20 years, is now a newer strategy to engage with Vandana. How do you engage with Vandana? Because she is busy. When I started my career 20 years back, not that everybody, I think, senior enough, started with the Nokia phone, the 3310, right? The most, I think, rugged phone in the world. You could fall it off, it could fall it off third floor, still will work. And we had only few things to do. SMS kar denge, 2-3 cheezein. So now, with this mobile phone, there are now 300 types of apps. And these 300 types of apps means they have got less time to decide, because they have got information overflow. So what brands are doing is using AI, creating gamified experiences to engage faster, to connect with them faster, so they can sell faster. So all of this is therefore not going to be a linear, straightforward strategy. It's I think every brand, every activity, forget brand, forget the functional side, go all the way to an activity level, and you would find a custom strategy being designed by any human who will look at every single activity of where he can track that user and build an experience to connect with them. That's my take.
Yeah, and just to add to Rahul's point, so like in my last company, what we did, like in terms of easiness for the end customer, for FMCG clients, like for most of the girls or ladies, what happens is, like if they want to try nail polish or lipstick, right? They might need to go to a retail store. They might, do something on their hands like this and, come up with the right kind of design. But what we did, we partnered with L'Oreal, Lakme. We integrated all those design shades in our, in our tool, they can just use that particular tool on the mobile app if it's working fine on their, on their face, and they can just order it from Amazon or Flipkart. So AI is just becoming the next big level thing.
100%.
Yeah.
You know, there's a very interesting study that happened recently and actually revealed that people will end up spending more time gaming than they do on social media today. In the next 7 years, there's more likely that people won't be scrolling through reels on Instagram, but actually be engaging in games. Because the people we see in this room 7 years down the line will be people who are right now at the age of 15, 17, 20s. And they are the people right now, as we speak in the room, maybe gaming out there in their home somewhere. Because that's the impact, that's how surrounded with technology they have been brought up with. You know, a lot of Web3 games have been coming in the picture, and they're at a very nascent stage right now. Brands have tried to leverage that. Brands like Nike have tried to do that. Since Ravish comes from a Web3 background, I want to understand how these Web3 games will coexist with the traditional games.
Sure. So these Web3 games, I think they also make a good collab with AI. So most of the blockchain companies, what they are trying to say is that they work on 3 parameters. First is security, second is transparency, and third is data security. So what is happening is most of these companies, they work on big data. AI, majorly they are working on big data and how to secure them, then this blockchain will come in. So most of the gaming players, be it Nazara, be it Disney, they are coming up in Web3 gaming. They are coming on chain, and most of the data will be secured. So maybe if you go from one app to another, if you have created your own avatar, you can just go on the other game, just log in from your on-chain credentials and done. Yeah.
I just want to add one critical point to that. See, currently I believe there is an unfair advantage that big companies are having. Google has all the analytics of what I do from morning till evening. They know which building I went, which hotel I went, how much time I spent, etc., etc. But now, if I am an indie developer, or I am starting to develop games, or any other product, I want to profile my target customers of what they do the way Google or any Meta or any other companies are doing. I think I'm looking forward to Web3 as it comes out, because individuals become owner of their data, of time that is spent on various web, which platform they have gone, how much time spent. It is not available or directly can be consumed by the company or creator. It is available for public.
Right.
So I feel that we should take advantage of this when we design our product going forward.
Right. Another very important aspect of AI integration with gaming is actually the mass adoption. When it comes to AI, we can actually have AI-driven avatars on the game that can connect in vernacular with you. Imagine not 100% of gamers, are as elite or educated or are comfortable with language like English. There are different earn-to-play games that have maximum participation and players from these tier 2 and tier 3 regions coming up. So how do you communicate? How do you associate with them, and how do you give that personal touch to them? Imagine having an AI avatar which can speak in Marathi, or, because vernacular is something, and localization is something that these AI-driven avatars in the gaming are bringing in, and that is what is leading to this technology to be a step ahead when it comes to personalization and player engagement. So if you can touch shed some light on indie, impact on indie games, Sagar, that would be great.
See, I was trying to send a recommendation to India AI, who actually Yeah, can you hear me? Right. So India AI is collecting ideas from public related to AI that government of India can take to develop AI India in terms of how it can be consumed by public. So one of my thought around it, and relevant to what point you said, is that, and Mr. Modi was also referring to that we are trying to create games for public in various languages. The point is, generative AI has an invariant capability of do translation. You write it in one language, and if it is a prose or if it is a poem, it can be converted to another language on the fly if it's that language set is rich. Now, and you don't need to do separate engagement of content creator. You should be able to tell it will get converted. If you like it, you accept it, move forward. What we lack today in the public infrastructure system is, I believe that Indian, that 25 odd languages that we have with Devanagari script, ability to translate, because we do not have invested on creating a model like that. And I personally feel government with all its content, if it gets capable, technology is there, but it will need an intent that we will create it a ChatGPT equivalent that include Indian language, which is capable of translating any prose, whether you use it as a, for game development, content creator, or in any other form. I think this is what we need to do.
Right. I think let's talk straight about brands generating business out of these games here and the revenue aspect of it. Rahul in his keynote session mentioned about Nike generating around $180 million, and they engaged 7 million users in their Nike land. Just playing mini games around Nike, mini games like wearing Nike shoes and just playing dodgeball, and different other aspects of the game. And this has been a trend that has been there, but I want to understand the revenue aspect of it for brands. How are they leveraging it? How significant is it? Is it going to stay with us, or is it just a hype?
Okay. It's like my team member asking me, what we're doing is a hype or what?
Because we keep getting this question, so we should address it here with the audience as well.
I think, see, whatever I said was said already. So let me just take another perspective. How many of you are non-Hindi here? You are from, ma'am? Lebanon. So you're Lebanese, Arabic, most Arabic mix of Lebanese. You're from South India, Tamil Nadu? Maharashtra. You're from? Hindi speaking. So one Marathi, Arabic, and then, madam, Bengali? Tamil Nadu. Very nice. Tamil Nadu, sir. Great. So if I were to say, Revolutionizing, sir, you connect with me, na? You say, Nilal, huh? Same thing I say to in Marathi. So I can. At least this much I know in 7-8 languages. This is all I know. But gaming aspect, brand aspect is also doing the same thing. I don't go sell Nirma somewhere in Tirunelveli with English written on the billboard. People won't get it. So hyper-personalization is very critical. Now, hyper-personalization is very critical to achieve, very, very important to achieve, I mean. Who is the first industry that is achieving hyper-personalization in your view? Anybody? Anyone? The first and the largest industry that has achieved hyper-personalization when connecting with their client? Which one? Sorry? Social media. That's medium. Industry. ATMs. Very good, good. This is good one. Aviation. Aviation operates from every city around the world. So if you look at the content that's been displayed there when you enter the airport, the local languages stay longer basis the kind of people who travel in those planes. Imagine in a plane how many different types of nationalities travel. Have you ever seen asking anybody, all of you must have traveled, have you ever asked and not found your language when you entered airport? Imagine this. Never. Hyper-personalization of their customer. It's impossible. You go to an airport in Lebanon and you won't have a language that I understand. It's a very far-fetched idea. But it don't happen. Similar thing, the brands today. Now let's go to the brand example. Say, we'll take Adidas, because we took Nike line, no? Not that Adidas also didn't try this. Adidas also tried it. But Adidas did just 5% or so, if anything, of what Nike did. Both started at the same time. Both worked on the same strategy. Both wanted to create a game and engage with communities. Both did the same thing because people are same only now. See, one hotel person leave, then he joins another hotel. Liberated person will join Shangri-La, Shangri-La will join Lalit. Where will they go? They can't go, no? From Lalit, they can't go to Singapore. It's never going to happen. So same thing happens also with this company. Same people. Why did they achieve 5% or less? In fact, they lost money. Because they were not connected with the end customer. So hyper-personalized experiences can be built when you have humongous amounts of data. Artificial intelligence becomes your layer, a very important integration layer within the content framework. And the experience creation sits on that AI hyper-personalized framework. Hence, delivering content to connect, once again to connect with the person, the faster way, the better way. And these are all stories which can go on and on, Vandana.
Absolutely. You know, as you said, connection with the end customer is very important as a deciding factor, whether it will work, whether you will make money or whether you'll lose money. A very interesting thing happened recently. You know, I was talking to my friends all around 20s, in the age of 20s. I was like, I miss we have this group call, you know, at night, and I'm like, I missed it. What were you guys doing until like 4 a.m.? They were like, we were actually entering this virtual space that is the replica of Harry Potter and Hogwarts. So Harry Potter created this game recently, and these guys ended up spending 3-4 hours just exploring Hogwarts because it was so well done by the team. And I'm sure, I don't know how many people in the room have heard about this. Anybody who has heard about this? See? All youngsters have heard about it already. Because that's what we connect with. You know, we are all Harry Potter, we are all Potterheads here. And if somebody gives us a chance to be a student at Hogwarts, oh my God, it gave me goosebumps right here as I speak.
Absolutely. Just to add, so I spent all of my life working in different countries as an entrepreneur, but I've been always in an enterprise SaaS business. So my earlier 2 companies were all enterprise SaaS product business. Mainly I would deal with every customer who is an enterprise. Now when I walked into this immersive tech 5 years back, this month in fact I'll complete the 5th year. When I entered into this industry, my biggest shock was not VR. My biggest shock was not what you're talking. When I called my son, my daughter is here, my son, he said, what are you doing tonight? He says, we are partying out. What's that called when he goes with friends on Netflix?
Watch party.
Watch party. What is watch party? They go into Netflix. They all friends log in and they watch movie together. Oh, wow. मतलब I remember I used to go out with friends. अपन जाएंगे लोग दोस्त के साथ में कहीं गली के कोने पे बैठेंगे रात को 10 बजे तक. We'll have physical interaction मिलेंगे. We are out for a movie. Where? In a virtual world. So they are even watching movies in virtual world. Okay? There is no more meeting. So hence, this also is going to play a very big role for brands. Brands will definitely make use of it.
You know, these are exactly like parallel channels. Today we talk about parallel economies. We think about the digital economies of Instagram and social media. But gaming and metaverse and Web3, this is what has actually added to these. And entertainment industry, because SATYAJIT is here with us, I'm sure what Harry Potter has done and targeted people all across the world, this is what the entertainment industry is also heading towards. We are having virtual concerts that people are engaging with. That's apart from gamification, so I won't shed more light on that. But Ravish, if you can come in the conversation here and help us understand how gaming is offering as a parallel economy with Web3 and with what we are having right now. What are the trends in the industry these days?
So, I mean, like as I already mentioned, it's about, transparency and security for everyone. And AI is all about data. So if we can secure data, nothing like it. And all of our blockchains, be it Avalanche, Polygon, Ethereum, the founders. So, there was a meet at Token 2049, which recently concluded in Singapore. So the things were very different there. And people were, shocked to see the kind of response which were, which was seen in Singapore. So I think it's complemented in a very good way, and how it can be, taken to the next level is the other thing. Yeah.
I just have a thing on the media side you mentioned, right? So what is happening in the media sector with respect to Web3? With all these content creators, all these content creators, there has been a lot of talk about the fractionalization also with respect to content. Maybe Sagar, you or, yeah? Any ideas, Ravish?
It's just a matter of time, honestly. I mean, like people, they are working on different platforms, content platforms. They want to replicate Hotstar, Sony on-chain, but I mean, it's just a matter of trigger. Like, in AI, it was all about ChatGPT, and it was done. We are just waiting for some trigger in blockchain as well.
I think amazing session today. Questions are welcome from the audience. We have a few minutes left and would be very happy to get some questions addressed by the panelists here. Yes.
So you said Adidas and Nike did the same thing, but Adidas only did 5% of what Nike did. Would you just mind telling us what did, you said like Adidas wasn't able to reach the audience. What did Nike do differently?
It's to me? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So what did Nike do best and what did Adidas didn't do best? I don't know. This is very internal news. What they possibly did do was that, like I said to you, think of it like this. I'll give you an example of a movie. Abhi morning you were saying very nice thing. You said people are creating game around a movie to propel the movies sort of a thing. When you keep, and essentially the point was that if you're thinking transactionally, the result also is transactional. If anybody thinks that I will make 12 movies a year, and that every single movie I will continue to build it and think that that movie will work, yeah, maybe, but possibly no. When they designed this program, and being the Adidas's early days, which was 3 years back, and I was definitely following them on a day-to-day basis, what I realized was that the engagement was not solid. The engagement was broken. You see, sometimes you want to do something very cool, but what you lose out is that the person who goes into it suddenly disconnects. It also happens in movies, isn't it? We say, our movie was great in the first half, the second half is very boring. No, that's an outcome of somebody writing that script and somebody executing it. That's just a report card. So I would say execution is the key. There are products, or there are, NFTs, or there are those experiences which are worth billions of dollars already. There are so many greatest metaverses or gaming products that I continue to see, which are not even worth a dime. Why? I don't know. But absolutely the ones who do well, they've done something differently. And most likely it's all about engagement.
Yeah, and I just want to add to Rahul's point on engagement. So AI-driven personalization, it's changing the overall player engagement when we give them tailored kind of aspects with respect to their behavior or preference. For example, you might be aware with Subway Surfer, right? So in Subway Surfer, you might have played, you might have heard. So, if you want to change those trains with Vande Bharat, for example, or if I want to play Subway Surfer in busy lanes in Chandni Chowk, how it's possible. So, Unreal Engine, Unity, it's changing a lot. That personalization is very important, and that's what, maybe Nike or, other brands, they might be doing with their respective customers.
All this brand, yes, please go on then.
So, a specific point about what you asked, I am working with Nike for last 4 years as part of Infosys. And Nike has realized something very fundamental post-COVID. Nike shoes are there all over their warehouses. But in India, Flipkart was not able to deliver it. Worldwide, they have their e-com sales, which probably is 40 to 60% of their overall total sale. And majority of the e-com companies warehouse actually will store that shoes from where dispatches will happen when you place an order. Now, because during COVID, they realized that they are not going to be dependent on somebody else to control their inventory and distribution. They will control it going themselves. They have heavily invested on building. So today what we do, whenever, anywhere a e-com site receives an order in real time, okay, you have placed an order right now go in Flipkart, submit your order. That order will be fulfilled not by Flipkart. Flipkart will be a pass-through agent. It will in real time go to inside Nike's order management system. It will go and check whether that inventory is available in the nearby location, and they will take the fulfillment operation. What has given them the advantage of that is that they can do the analytics at individual order level, understand that customer right from age to this to that, and probably that's what Rahul and is talking about, that they have additional data point to be able to connect and reach out to their customers.
Right.
It's my thought. I may not be right entirely, but this is what I understand.
You know, this conversation, very interesting conversation, reminds me of a classic example by what Renault did. So, very interesting way of consumer engagement. So what they did, they supplied VR headsets in a flight of business class, Qatar Airways business class tickets, everybody was given a VR headset. And that was being casted on the screen that's usually there in a flight when you are sitting behind the seats. And people could experience this game and this experience that Renault had built. They were launching their new car. And all these, people in business class could actually engage with that game through the headset, with the product that they were launching. And the same thing, there was a child who was kicking a football in the game. There was a lady who was just going through the elevator, giving the man a smirk. All that they could experience, and they recorded it. This was an entire campaign that they did, okay? And the same thing, as soon as the person got off the flight, they created, those simulations were created physically on the airport. So there was a strong connect that, oh my God, what I saw on the headset is actually happening at the Dubai airport over here. And right where there was an exit, there was a huge showcase of the new automobile that they were launching. Imagine the integration of physical, virtual, and digital. This is what we are talking about when it comes to gaming and creating better brand experiences. And this is how it's going to work. It's not going to work in isolation at all. Amazing insights by our panelists today. I think a few minutes left. Any more questions? Happy to address. Sure.
Since everyone is talking about shoes, and then experience, and then digitalization and gamification, I'll just share a quick story. Last month I was there in San Francisco, and I was heading to airport. My daughter said, and why not to buy shoes? Then we walked to the shoes, but I do not wanted to buy the shoes. And the price of the shoes was, when I visited the shop, the display, it was close to 35,000. So where Indian always will convert dollar to rupees, right? No, मैं तो 6-7,000, 10,000 तक कर दूँ, उससे आगे नहीं जाऊँगा. Then the shopkeeper said, no, we will have a different, you choose. So what they did, they asked me to run on the treadmill. I went to the run on the treadmill. They digitized my legs, both the legs and etc. And they found that the depth of both the legs is the different. So you need to have a kind of different sole configured for your leg, which will be good for your sports shoe for the running, etc. So I did it. They immediately digitized this. They immediately manufactured the sole quickly. While I raced to that, my customized for my legs configured and reached to the dispatch counter and collected it. So next time when I order it, just I need to say, this is my identification. I'll just buy it and get the shoes. So that's a nice.
Which company was that?
मैं थोड़ा नाम भूल
Dr. Souls? Dr. Souls?
No, not Dr. Souls. It's a very, it's
Even
not
Nike
in India.
is doing it these days. You visit Nike stores and they personalize your sneakers for you.
Yeah. So that's kind of experience.
Yeah, so one tight schedule then. So two things I want to talk about is one, that AI is not personalization though. AI helps personalization, right? That's very, very important aspect that we need to remember and always understand that. Now, something very interesting we were talking about, right? In the world of gaming, right? What we need to really, I'm not a gamer, so I'm just making just an observation, and I want, if there's something in play, then let us know. If I have played a game and I can customize my avatar, I can customize my environment, fantastic, and that is personalization. But if you know me the way I played a particular game, where I went well and where I actually dropped, next time when I come back onto the same game, you tell me, you guide me. You know me already, you can tell me what kind of avatar I selected, where, flaws that I've done. That is, that is where I would like to use some artificial intelligence to understand my emotions, my sentiments when I was playing, doing a gameplay, and come up with some unique recommendations or unique options in between. That's point number one. Now, the point number two, is there a possibility under a one common brand, there are multiple games. If my information as an audience or as a player you're aware of, and that passes through, right, through a subscription model, you know me already, you know me who I am, my beliefs, my thoughts, my personality, create something custom for me on the go. So that's, those are those few ideas we need to actually think over as we evolve the world of gaming.
Maybe I can take your first question. So in terms of personalization, what you mentioned, I think it's already there, and gamers and companies or developers, they are already doing it. So for example, if I am playing any game at any level, I know what you are doing, at what level you are comfortable in receiving a push notification, for example, or at what level you are comfortable in purchasing an avatar or that subscription. So I just personalize that particular mechanism for you, and this AI, especially ChatGPT integration in most of these gaming companies which are getting done, I think it's making more and more personalization. It's helping them, and I always say that it's like a co-pilot. It's what these softwares are doing, rather than they'll not replace any other stuff in that way. Yeah.
So, for example, if I play FIFA and if you play FIFA, so it's a football game. So 22 players, every player is being designed to behave differently. Some of them will be a defense player, some of them attack, long shot, dribbling, etc. are characterization. Now, when you play and I play, it will be completely different gameplay altogether. And it is driven by AI, controlled by AI, understands that you are playing like that, hence the associated character need to behave like that. So it comes under something called human behavior study, and there are lots of paper associated with it. And I believe this subject will grow very significantly going forward.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you so much for the answers. Again, you answered a bit of my question that I had, right? I am under a particular brand, and the brand has multiple games. My information, my persona, my personality has to get carried to the next game when I come under your umbrella function. If that's already happening, is what was my question.
Yeah, so it's already happening as well, and when you accept those terms and conditions which we never read, so it's already written that we'll have some of your data which we might use under our umbrella application. So yeah, in some aspects, yes.
And can we real-time customize our games according to the personas, or going to come up with some options?
Yes, so Unity and Unreal, they are doing a good partnership. So for example, as I mentioned about Chandni Chowk, for example, or New York, maybe they can just use those maps APIs, they can integrate it, and like according to that particular geography, you can see that particular persona.
Okay, all right, thank you so very much.
Yeah, good morning. I have the one question. Just I think I'll take less time. Yeah, I am from education institution. Okay, so we have elective courses on sports, but I think students take very less those courses. But similar courses we have in another in MTech, defense technology. A lot of students they take those courses. Okay, I mean there is a lot of use this gaming technology and all. Okay, do you know any R&D in this area is going on? And second thing, the kind of the gaming technology, the speed or memory, whatever. I mean, kind of the technology like 5G, 6G. Do you think that existing technology can handle those transmission, I mean, kind of this speed? And next is that many countries like China, they have limited 1 hour for the kids. Okay. Do you think that is a popularized in India? How many users? What is the scope? Can you just light on this?
So you mean in terms of educational
I
courses?
mean the user, technology, the, offered, I mean, kind of the requirements, infrastructure requirements.
So let me
This
try to
technology.
attempt few of
Yeah.
yours and
Yeah.
then, see, India has penetration of up to 850 million smartphone users, not smartphone users, but internet users. And I have a feeling that I may be wrong, some 500,000 users are actually having smartphones. First thing about education is to understand how many of Indian users are having smartphone, because your content would be used in smartphone. You don't need 5G at all. Even 4G is good enough.
Okay.
The next question you asked about the quality of content creation for, it comes under a subject called gamification. And I think we have talked a lot about it and we can have more conversation around it. That in education sector, you have to make the content itself interesting for absorbing by student. Otherwise, they are not going to be, it's very hard to be able to be taking it. So that I believe that the conversion of a dry content, maybe science or things, with highly animated and very interesting to absorb is the next area. Technology is fully available. It is the ability for us to create content creator like them to be able to provide it. So you have customer base fully available. You have technology fully available. My feeling is that we need more content creator to be able to.
Exactly. That may be, because we are not getting the more students in those.
You'll have to probably tie up with that animation studios and then go on from there.
Okay.
Right, thank you.
Yeah, maybe I'm the last question.
It's amazing to see the interaction from the audience. That's
Because
what
it's a
actually
very
makes
important
it
topic, I think. AI. So definitely a lot of people
Please
have
go
that
on.
doubts. The thing is, like, we have, of course, we need content developers, content creators for that. But a lot of games are there. We are talking about the analytics, data and everything. What about the security aspects? When it comes to, because metaverse, a lot of brands are coming in and games. Of course, as I am a program director, I design programs. At the same time, even students ask me this question. Like, where in colleges and the other programs. So, I'm giving my IP. Is that how secure it is? How my content is, like, how the data has been pulled out by the external parties? How the data, like example, of course, football is a very good example. Or like Vice City, a lot of games are there in the market. What is the security aspects here? How the Indian-based data, because people are there to, because larger user base, right? India has a larger user base, where people are ready to take our data and plan the future in a better way. So how we are taking up and where are we thinking on the space?
I can just, start with this. So that's how, AI and blockchain, they're trying to marry each other, right? How they can secure the particular data. And when it comes to, companies, I know from backend, they're very, very, how should I say, very sensitive with respect to data. They think that, it's their data. So I was with Geo. I visited Geo last month. And they're very, very serious about, security. So they have proper servers, proper mechanisms in place, and nothing can be, taken outside that particular stream. And GDPR rules which are there in Europe. So, I think our Indian government, they are also coming up with some new rules. And that's how, most of the Chinese apps, they were banned, right? So they got that particular information, how those Chinese apps were using our data in a bad way. And, I think they are taking proper steps towards it.
See, I share your concern. From morning, I think I have received 2 calls offering me loans. Neither I have subscribed to it, and I don't know how did they get my number. What my worry remains is that while the technology side of the things are good, I'm not sure if I'm spending money of a game, that information may not get leaked. Technologically, it will not be, but there are many more aspects of it. How employees who has developed it, who will have access to that data, etc., can get protected. So I am not very sure, Rahul.
I'll give you the perspective on which this cybersecurity in the metaverse has been a very big challenge for organizations, starting from Accenture to many gaming, companies. You see, there are 2 or 3 very important aspects within the metaverse or immersive experience when you say. What is metaverse? Whenever you have a commerce played in an immersive environment, is metaverse. It's public platform, anybody can come. It's creator economy backed by black blockchain, not owned by a company, blah, blah, blah. The first aspect is the user, the people themselves. How do you know that when you meet Rahul in the metaverse, is the me Rahul? Where is the validation of that? So expect that you may make friends who are truly not friends, but they look like friends. So with this, there is there's a beautiful session that my friend over there is going to take on all of these aspects of, the metaverse and immersive technology and how people should behave and all of that. So the second part, to just quickly answer the latter part, is while the commerce takes place within the metaverse, there is going to be a lot of hacking, attempts in order to sort of siphon the funds out, because if today there are 100 million wallets, tomorrow if there are 500 million wallets, of course, being on a blockchain and being smart contracts which are open source available. You can download a blockchain ka smart contract tomorrow, whichever blockchain you interact with. That is an open source, na? It's not supposed to be owned by one company. Go to GitHub, download the smart contract, build your 2 or 3 nodes, put 3, 4 GPUs, and your blockchain is up and running. That's all. It's not a rocket science. It'll hardly take you 1 month or so to creating your own blockchain. Maximum, I'm telling you. Rather, you start to write all yourself. That's a personal choice. So the thing is, being those open source open source information available on, say, portals, and being those smart contracts with the developers reading them all across the world, they know where the leak is. And that's why all of these NFTs, the wallet hacking that you hear from, all across the media, somebody logged into someone else's wallet, got away with 100 Ethereums or 500 for 5 Bitcoins, blah, blah, blah. So those are very serious challenges in the industry. Will there be an answer tomorrow? My answer is no. This will just be over a period of time game. So expect next 2, 3 years, 5 years is going to be stabilization of this Web3 community and the product or framework, after which you will start to see this in the mainstream. And this is not new. You know what? I think all of you will remember when Facebook was launched, what was the one thing being said in those days? That people used to go and put pictures of having vacation in Missouri. The guy sitting in Ludhiana, his house is empty. There used to be robberies because of that. I'm telling you, there used to be robberies. Robbers used to wait. Somebody will go put that, all my family is all in Missouri, which means home is empty, no? Go take whatever you want. So it's taken time for that aspect to be also kind of sorted. So hence, therefore, it's a journey. So expect 2 or 3 years in my view.
So can we have the next question quickly, sir?
Yeah, I'll just quickly add, since we are talking a lot about AI, so I'll just speak about the concept, right? AI, when we say AI, is not programmable. It's an algorithm which works. When we say the algorithm is not written. It's learned from the environment. Based on the environment, we define the policy, we define the rewards, function, etc. And this is the way the enhancement of the algorithm happens. So when someone says that personalized for this particular individual or for the environment, it learns from there, then personalize happen. So this is what is the AI. Now, when we talk about he was talking about Unity and Unreal Engine. So Unreal Engine is entirely, lot of AI application has been built. If someone is playing the game, the AI helps him to improve there and he take it to the next level, whatever learning, etc., has happened in the past. Third point, we are talking about the metaverse. Metaverse, you are talking about there are different definitions across the world. There is no definition available rightly. There are two types of metaverse in the world talking about. One is the gamification point of view. Second, from the industrial point of view, is the industrial metaverse. So probably in my session, I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to talk about a lot of words. He was talking about the VR and AR and the metaverse. I'm going to show about how the automotive is on the metaverse. So this is a point I wanted to add. Thank you.
Great.
So we look forward to your session. Thank you, and thank you panelists for such a thought-provoking insights. That was lovely having you all here, and I request Mitali to come on the stage and felicitate the panelists.
So thank you everyone for joining in for a very interactive panel discussion. So can we have a group photograph and then we can move ahead. Please come.
We are going to have a group photograph first, and then we'll go with the certificate distribution ceremony. Felicitation, we first have with us Ravish Jain. Next we have Ms. Vandana Bansal. And Mr. Sagar Sarma. Last but not the least, we have Best Speaker Award for Rahul Sethi. Rahul with an additional hour.